In this video I will show you how to install or solder the ESP32 model on the board, Bitaxe board 204. Just taking the ESP from the package and we're gonna just tin. Here I'm using adapter to flash the software on the ESP before I set it in. So I used to do that because I just want to, when I start my Bitaxe and be done with it, I just start it and see everything is working, and I don't need to flash the software on or the firmware from in the ESP. You can find the adapter on the internet if you just search, or if you want to, I can put it in the description. Here I'm just putting the pin in place. Sometimes when you set the ESP, it will not align with all the pins. So here I'm just aligning and checking that everything is in place before I connect it to the PC and flash the firmware. Using the same paste as yesterday, 183 degree paste, normal paste, sheep paste. Applying just like a line, following the ESP pins. Just enough to have on all the pins. (350°), and just applying some flux now just to help speed up the job. Starting my fan or fume extraction. It's important to have a nice extraction so you don't breathe stuff. It's not healthy. Just moving around, and you can see the color change also from gold to silver, exactly the same as the ASIC. If you didn't watch the video, I recommend that you watch it. It was, yeah, I have a lot of info there. Now just removing excess solder or tin from the ESP. Now we clean with alcohol again, and yeah, doing it while it's a little bit warm and easier to clean. Just check out everything is like silver color, and it's easy to see if you have missed any pin or something. We take our board, and I'm not doing again the stencil or applying the paste. We did it in the last video with the chip, ASIC chip, and yeah, if you want to see that, you just go back to the last video. Here I'm using a low temperature paste, is I think 128°. I will double check. Here I'm using it for the middle part of the ESP32, because I'm gonna do it from the other side, and I don't want to use excess heat, and this is a ground, and it used like as a heat sink, like this for the ESP32. So some people don't even bother to use any paste or solder it at all to the board. So I want to do it because it's a good thing, and dissipate some heat from the ESP32 and help it yeah, keep the temperature low. So and they use low temperature to use the heat gun from the other side. I will show you how I'm gonna do it. Here I'm using a lot of time just making sure I have the ESP32 aligned exactly, and it's a little bit tricky because you don't have the whole picture, and it's small pins, and you have a paste in the between the pin on the board, and you can't see when you stop and when you start, so you have to clean a little bit with the sharp thing between the pins to see when you start and when you stop, so you can align it nicely. This is really important to align it properly, because you will pay the price if you don't do it nicely. Here I'm going, I'm using a lot of time to get it right. Now I think I'm happy with the result. So yes, I will start the heat gun. Small adjustment again. Just a little bit, yeah, be gentle and take your time to do that. The first pin is a ground pin, so it will take time to warm, to get hot enough to get to the temperature, and yeah, it's a little bit, you have to be patient. It takes some time. Sorry for the images, it was a little bit too much ISO here. So you can see when the first pin get to the temperature, the others, the board and the ESP are already hot enough, so it will be just easier to solder the rest. So you can see here, just really going really easy, because the first pin is take a lot of time to get to temperature. Here you can see how easy the rest of them get melt and get to the temperature. Here you can see I didn't align it really nicely. Here you can see a little bit off, but it's not a problem. It's okay. I didn't bother to fix that. It's okay. It's in my spec. You see how easy it all the as you can see, I'm adding some solder paste to the pin, because you can see we have a little gap between the ESP and the board, and I'm trying to push the solder paste in place. Here I'm just doing the hard way. We can do it another way. I will show you at the end how to do it a little bit easier, not using as much time doing it this way, because here I'm just wasting a little bit of time doing it that way. If you don't get it right the first time with the paste, so you should go for the other technique I will show you at the end of this video. As you can see here, I bridged 2 pin, and because I used a little bit too much paste, now I'm cleaning up. Here is the first pin. As I said, it's a ground pin, and it takes some time to get to temperature, so you get just to be a little bit patient with it. Here you can see I found 2 pin that have a little gap between the board and the ESP, so I'm adding some paste and trying to assure that we have all pin connected to the board. As you can see here, I still have a little gap between those pins, so I'm just making sure it's a nice good connection. So I'm adding some paste there and doing it again. Now double checking everything is okay. You can see here all the pins are connected, and I'm happy with the result. No gap between the pins and the ESP32 and the board. Double checking again the other side. Now I'm taking another board and applying the low temperature paste, and just taking the time how long it take for the gun at 350 degrees to go through the board and melt the paste, just to be sure that I'm using the right time and not overdoing it. Here you see I'm putting it in a little jig, because the board can get really hot if you are not using, if you are using your hand, you can get burned. Here I'm it's just for testing. You can do that also if you don't have low temperature paste, you can use a normal paste and just check how long it takes for the paste to melt. As you can see, it didn't take too long to melt, so I'm gonna use the same time for my board, cleaning everything up for the next Bitaxe. And now taking my board and just using approximately the same time I use for the test run. Now I'm gonna show you the other technique using really thin solder head. It comes with a unit. It will allow us to you can see here, it allows us to just point. I use a little bit higher temperature here because the point is really thin, so I'm using 360 degree for solder iron. You can see it's a little bit, it was a little bit hot, so I had to do it really fast to get burned. Don't do that, just wait for it to be cold, or do it before you start. And here you can see I added some solder paste and take normal wire, or maybe thinner. Here I'm using a little thick wire, and you can see just point it, and you can do the first one with the gun, with the heat gun, so you have the ESP set in place, maybe 2 or 3 with the heat gun, so the ESP is in place and don't move around, and you can take the other one with the solder iron. Yeah, you can see the first spin always take a little bit longer to work because it's grounded, and you need to be patient with it. And you can see here, you just set the point in the gap there, and you have to add some paste when you need to, because here I have enough, so I'm not adding, but you can do that. And here you just point, and I think here a lot of people prefer this solution, but I'm a little bit I like the heat gun. I like using the heat gun, so I don't know why I'm a little bit yeah, some people like to do that with using this method, but I like to use the heat gun. I'm a little bit stubborn, just how I am. But this is a real nice and easy way to do it also, and much cleaner too. So yeah, just you can choose with which method is best for you, and just go for it. Again, thank you for watching, and if you have any question, or just let me know at the comment and I will reply. The next video I will just remove the ASIC and do it without template or the stencil, just to show you how to do it if you mess up first time.